Hi guys, how's everybody doing? Is it nice and cool where you guys are? It has gotten super chilly willy here. It was like 80 degrees and now it is probably around 46, 47 degrees. So huge change. And it's going further down tonight. So we got a nice little cold front. It was very humid and warm, and the rain came and cooled everything all down. It was really, really nice. Anyway, I decided that I was going to do something a little bit different. Instead of doing a reading with the cards, I was just going to do a reading on Lindsey Graham and just ask my spirit guides what's going on with him and see if I could get a little information. So, what I did before I turned on the camera is I meditated and I got my spirit guides and asked some questions. So, I got a few answers. I want to let y'all know what they are. But first of all, I would just like to say that I would like to send healing prayers to Psychic Violetta's husband. I know you guys watch her. I watch her too from time to time. I love her. She's a beautiful person. And her son Leszek, I think his name is. Uh, just God bless her husband, and I pray that he'll have a full and complete recovery. So I know all of you guys are with me on that, that we're all send them good energy, good prayers, and pray for him and have a successful outcome. I think he's having surgery, right? I believe it's what she said. Okay, guys. So it's Thursday night. So my husband's off playing volleyball. So I have a chance to do this. I actually did this whole reading with my camera off. What the heck? I was like, I'm done, and it said 0. I'm like, I wish I could have, saw that beforehand. Now I have something else wrong here. I don't know what's going on with my computer. All kinds of crap is popping up, and I don't even have my window on. Anyway, I really want to know what is up with Lindsey Graham. I mean, he's changed into a person that we don't even recognize. He used to be one of those guys like, just like McCain. They were two peas in a pod and very likable characters. I mean, I don't know about his whole history, and I'm not familiar with him, but I know that, he was a pretty good guy, and a lot of people liked him a lot. Anyway, I went off the track because I got this little antivirus thing popped up. What I was going to say about my husband, he's off playing volleyball. Tuesday night, it was the last night I did a reading. I sent another reading out Tuesday. So I try to do it on the nights that he's gone. You guys know that. So he comes home Tuesday night and he said, I got a holiday party invitation. And I said, oh, really? That's nice. And he said, yeah, this guy that I play volleyball with, he's told everybody to bring a covered dish and to bring a gift. And I said, oh, so did he tell you to bring your spouse too? And he said, no, he didn't. I said, are you sure? And he said, well, he sent out these invitations too on Facebook where you can go and answer and tell them what you're going to bring, what covered dish. And he said, that doesn't say nothing about your spouse or anything. And I said, well, maybe it's just implied, and he said, well, I don't know. He said, I don't think so. And I said, well, who is this guy? You never talked about him before. And so he showed me a picture of him on Facebook, and the guy was with two young daughters. He showed me this picture. As soon as he showed me the picture, I go, he's divorced. And he goes, yeah, he is. And I said, well, honey, when you get a divorce, you can go to his party. I'm so mean, aren't I? And he was like, I wasn't going to go. I didn't want to go. I wasn't going to go. I told him that we had something to do that day. I wasn't even planning on going. I'm like, so why did you bring it up and why did you tell me about it? If you weren't planning on going, I said, you think I was going to be all nice and sweet and say, oh, go, honey, have a good time? I told him, divorced people all hang out together with singles, and you ain't that. But if you want to be that, you can go. I'm so mean. He's like, I don't want to go. I'm like, okay. I don't know why we're having this conversation. Anyway, and he mentioned it a few other times, like, in kind of a smart alecky way, like, I wasn't going to go. You think I was going to go. And I'm like, why do you keep bringing it up? So evidently he thought he was going to go, but he ain't. Is that mean? I'm probably being mean, but we're not playing that game. We're not doing that. We're together. We're a couple. We're together. We've been together for 40 years and he ain't going without me. You don't invite me. You don't get to have him either. So I'm sorry. Anyway, okay. So this is the way it goes. I get in touch with my spirit guides. I talk to them. I've already done this. I do prayers and all this. I talk to them. They gather around. And I'm asking my spirit guides, why does Lindsey Graham have such an allegiance to Trump? Why? Why is it? Can you tell me why? Can you show me why? And then they show me this picture. It's funny. I see a pigeon walking on the ground, and you know how pigeons walk? They're walking like that, like a pigeon with a snake. It's a pecking order. That's what they're showing me. It's a pecking order. That's all. And I'm saying, well, isn't he compromising himself by being so loyal and being so devoted to Trump? Doesn't that compromise him? And then they show me, they're showing me a sheep, and it's like a black sheep, but it's not a black sheep. The sheep is like crippled. It's like a crippled sheep. It has braces on its legs, like the legs aren't working, like it's crippled. Oh, so if you're not with Trump, he'll cripple you. Oh, I get it. Wow. So he's afraid that he'll cripple him. He'll cripple his career, or he'll cripple him. That's what's going on here. He's actually afraid of Trump. He is. But gosh, he sure goes out of his way to say all kinds of things. It seems like to me, if you don't like Trump, or if you're not for Trump, could you just keep your mouth shut and your head down? Do you have to go out and speak in front of everybody? And so this crippled sheep, I'm asking my spirit guide, does this mean, is he afraid of just political harm or physical harm? Which is it? Is he afraid of being physically hurt? And they're showing me a hat laying on the ground, a hat. Okay, so it's like one day you're vital and important, you're there, you're vital and important. Next day, you're gone. You're done. You're over. You're over and gone and done. And all you got left is a hat laying on the ground. So that's what they're showing me. Why can't Lindsay speak the truth to Trump? Why can't he? Why can't he do that? It seems like to me, when McCain was alive, they spoke the truth. Both of them spoke the truth about Trump. Remember? They spoke the truth. They gave their real opinion of Trump. And now, it's like everything's changed. His opinion used to be aligned with Trump's. I'm sorry, not with McCain's. He used to have his opinion aligned with McCain. And you know what they're showing me? It's so funny. They're showing me like an IV from McCain to Lindsey Graham. It's a central line. They're showing me it's a central line. And then when McCain passed, that line was severed. It was severed. And that line was actually, it was like he was pumping him up. He was actually giving him courage. And it was like he had somebody on his side. After McCain passed away, he didn't have anybody on his side anymore. There was nobody there to pump him up. There was nobody, no one there. So he just fell into line. He fell into the pecking order. That's what happened. So I say to my spirit guides, does Lindsay feel like, his career is more important than our country? Is that what he feels like? I asked them this over and over and over, and I wasn't getting any answer. I didn't get a yes or a no, but I didn't get a yes. It was just like quiet. Nobody was saying nothing. So I feel like um, they're showing me white hair, very, very snow white hair. So they're saying this will pass, everything ages, it's done, it's over. So it's going to pass. This is going to pass. And Trump will be gone. Trump's going to be gone. This is going to pass. And then they're showing me a swan, a colorful swan. You usually see a white swan, but it looks like a colorful swan. I don't know why it's a colorful, but they're okay. So swans mate for life, and I feel like Lindsey Graham feels like this career is for life for him. He's in it for his life. He plans on being a senator for the rest of his life. That's why we need term limits. So that's what they're showing me. So he's in it for the rest of his life, and this is going to pass, and he's still going to be left there. Okay, that's what they're showing me. He's doing what he thinks he needs to do to survive. Okay, and then they're showing me these. It looks like a big bear paw print in the in the dirt, and so big print in the dirt. So they're telling me he's leaving behind a big impression. This is Lindsey Graham. He's leaving behind a very big impression. And that's why I guess he's out there all the time, because he's trying to leave behind a big impression. Don't forget me, remember me, But I don't know if it could backfire on him, because, if Trump leaves office in scandal and you supported him, that's not going to be good. So is this impression a good impression, or is it going to be a bad impression? And so the way they answer me is they're showing me a puppet. So I feel like he's Trump's puppet. It's so funny. He's Trump's puppet, but this puppet that I see has been torn apart. It's all been torn apart. It's like a little sock puppet, and it's all been torn apart, and then it's been sewn back together. But you can see all the stitches, and you can see it's kind of tattered. It looks kind of rough, but it's back together. So I feel like things will be rough for him. His career's going to take a beating. It looks like he'll be torn apart, but he'll get it back together. I feel like he will be able to put things back together. He may be worse for the wear. He may, go through a rough time. He may, look really rough, but I feel like that he will survive another election. I think that's what they're telling me here. So things are going to get rough. People, are going to have their say about him, but I feel like it'll come full circle. It will come full circle, and maybe he'll start acting like a normal person again once Trump leaves office, if he gets reelected anyway. I mean, I would hope that a Democrat would take his seat with the way that he's acting. That's what I would hope. But I feel like he's going to get beat up, torn up, but I feel like he'll survive it, because I see this puppet being, stitched back together. So whatever he's going to go through and take a beating, but I feel like he may survive, you guys. So that's what I have to say about Lindsey Graham. That's what I got from my spirit guides. Hope y'all let me know if you like this kind of reading. We'll just see how it plays out in the future and what's going on with it. I'll maybe make some here and there, and we'll have something to compare it to for the future to see what goes on with them. So it's interesting. It's interesting. I like getting information this way. I really enjoy it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it too. All right, guys. So I'm out of here. It's late in the evening. I have to go get my husband's dinner ready. Right before I did the first reading, I did this before. I turned on the camera and I did the whole thing. I tried to remember everything. And of course, it wasn't on. So I ran and made the spaghetti for him. I made Iranian spaghetti. You guys, let me tell you, Iranian people do nothing simply. You can't just make some sauce and boil some spaghetti and eat spaghetti. No, you have to make it like a baked spaghetti. You have to boil the noodles, make the sauce, and then you have to put potatoes in the bottom, which are delicious. And then you layer it all up and steam it just like you do the rice. And it tastes delicious and I love it, but it's just like not simple. You can't just go boil and, spaghetti is simple and easy and quick. No, you have to go and make it. If you don't go in the kitchen and sweat a little bit, it doesn't taste good. If you ask my husband anyway, that's the way they look at things. You've got to really work hard. I've been to Iran one time. I went to Iran when I was really, really young, when our kids were real little. They were just a couple of years old. So it was like, 35, 36 years ago, something like that I went to Iran. And they do everything they used to back then. They would start the day and, serve you breakfast, and then they would start preparing, the ladies, they would start preparing the meal for lunch. And they would make this elaborate meal and then it seems like by the time they got the dishes washed and everything, they would be on to the next meal again. And they would work hard all day long. I'm like, oh my gosh. And of course they were, putting on extra for us, I'm sure, because we were there visiting. And so they were trying to make our visit really nice. But they work really hard. They really do. And they get all their vegetables from the market. They cook everything from scratch. There's not these fast food things. Everything's from scratch. So everything's really good and fresh. But when we were there visiting, even back then, I had a sassy little attitude, probably more so than I do now. They were so nice to him and they were waiting on him. He has 3 sisters and 2 sisters and 2 brothers. He has 2 sisters and 2 brothers. Yeah. And his sisters were just waiting on him left and right. They would bring him, honestly, a glass of water on a little plate with a tray. So they would serve him with a plate and a tray. And they were just waiting on him hand and foot. He's the oldest brother. And I was just amazed. I told him, you better enjoy this while you're here. That is ending when we leave. He's had it rough, you guys. He's had it really rough with me. So anyway, they really take care of their family members. Women really do. They take care of them. And it's not because they have to or anything. They just love their brother and they enjoyed waiting on him and taking care of him. Back then when I was younger, I couldn't really understand it, but now I do. Now that I'm older, if my brother would come, I'd probably wait on him and take care of him and do everything that I could for him too, especially knowing that you won't see him for a long time, So it's understandable. Anyway, they're very kind, good people, and they cook very well, but they do everything in the most difficult way. All right, guys, I'm going to let y'all go. I enjoyed talking to y'all. If you'd like to get a reading with me, and whenever you get a reading with me, and I do the Celtic cross on the tarot cards, I do that, but I also do a meditation before. So you are going to get some of what you just heard here. I will meditate. I will connect with your energy. Some things will come through. I don't know what will come through, but there will be things that come through. It's so funny. One time I connected with this lady and it was so weird. And I didn't even want to tell her. What I saw was her taking a bite of lasagna. I'm like, I don't know why I'm seeing you take a big bite of lasagna. And she told me, I wanted lasagna the night before I did her reading, she said, I wanted lasagna so bad that night. So, and I had just picked up on her energy, and it was so weird. I could just see a fork of lasagna go into her mouth and her taking a bite. And sometimes you see things and you don't know, should I say that? I don't know. So I'm just trying to say whatever I see. Maybe you can, it might make more sense to you guys if I see something or say it. Just like when I saw the ostrich and all of y'all are said, oh, the head in the sand, the ostrich with the head in the sand. And I didn't even pick up on that, but you guys did. So when I see something and I'm telling y'all, you're going to have a reaction. Y'all are going to, and spirit knows that. Spirit knows that you're going to pick up on maybe things that I don't. So it's good for you guys too. I like hearing your messages and hearing what what you got out of the reading. So it's interesting. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you go. Have a good evening. I love you so much. If you'd like to get a reading with me, just look down below. There's my email address. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit the bell to be notified for the next video that comes out. And hit the like. I appreciate it, guys. Love y'all so much. Do something kind for somebody. It'll always come back to you. Y'all take care. Bye for now.